What's going on, Bourbon family? It's the Bourbon Bro J, and it's Sip Sunday. The other day, I went in on a online delivery with my uncle, and we were able to get a few different bottles in that is kind of hard to find for us. For me, particularly, I was looking to get my hands on this bottle, which is the Sazerac Rye 125. So the Sazerac, or 125 proof, and it's the Sazerac Rye Foolproof. Now, I heard a lot of really good things from other bourbon reviewers saying that it's just as good as the Thomas Handy, which I guess is the same mash bill coming in from Buffalo Trace. But I don't have a Thomas Handy to compare it to. Unfortunately, haven't been willing to spend the money that I've seen it on secondary for. So if anybody wants to send me a sample, more than willing. Um, but yeah, so I've also had the Sazerac Rye 100 proof. I had it, I finished it, I really enjoyed it. I need to order another one. That way I can have the full run. As you notice, the Sazerac Rye, that the straight rye that I have, the 90 proof, it is the older bottle labeling because I've had this one for a little bit. I mean, I know the new labels with this little like box, is new. But this one, I've seen them around with the new labels, not like in a rush to buy another one. Um, I'm gonna finish this and then get another one, or maybe once this gets a little bit lower, pick up another one. It's very relatively inexpensive. For those interested, the Sazerac Rye, straight rye whiskey, it comes in at an MSRP of $25 to $30. So it's relatively inexpensive. I enjoy it, but I'm gonna compare it with the 125. I'm gonna see how much of a difference it really is proofed up. The 100 proof, which they say a liter costs $30. I think that's what I got. And again, that was one I had to order online, but I think it is now hitting the Maryland market a little bit more readily, so I should be able to find that. And the full proof, it says, is $40, between 40 and $50. So, you know, that's the MSRP on those. We do know that Sazerac comes from the Buffalo Trace family, or the Buffalo Trace distillery, I should say. And like I said, I have a large amount of Buffalo Trace products just because they are my favorite distillery. Doesn't mean I'm gonna like everything they put out, but I do enjoy most of it. So want to compare it and see what's going on. Again, bourbon. It says while Buffalo Trace keeps a specific recipe proprietary, this breakdown is the industry standard um, for what the mash bill should be shared by the Sazerac Rye, Sazerac 18 year, and the Thomas Handy. So the Thomas Handy, Sazerac 18, and the regular Sazerac Rye should all consist of the same mash bill, just different aging. Um, so, like I said, a lot of people speak highly of this Sazerac Rye 125. I'm very interested to see what it is. If it's not meeting my standards, I guess, or meeting my expectations, I won't be disappointed because it's a relatively inexpensive bottle. Not the cheapest, but I guess midpoint maybe, or regular, I guess, on what MSRP prices should be for a decent bottle of bourbon. So again, what I want to do is I want to compare it to the Sazerac 90 proof just to see how much of a difference it is. Um, just a small splash. And again, like I said, we did get this in the mail, or I got it in the mail, um, because I couldn't find it. So it is officially a fresh crack. So let's see what the pop is like. Nice. Um, oh, and it's not a traditional cork. How about that? Pour it a little heavier on that one because I believe I'm gonna enjoy it. So we'll see. So again, smell test on the Sazerac Rye. It's good, sweet, um, not overly ethanol. You get no ethanol really on it. I mean, it's only 90 proof. Yeah, it's sweet forward. Um, not going to dive too deep into it because I'm interested in the 125. But overall, you get some sweetness, like a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of caramel, kind of. Get like some little bit of dry fruit textures in there. It almost smells grapey, which is weird to say, but I guess those that dry fruit profile that I was talking about, or dark fruit profiles, like that cherry and stuff. Anyway, I love this Sazerac rye. It's really good. It's very good. I think it's a good palate starter. Also, um, get those taste buds popping. Really get that opened up to try other things. I think that before you try something new, you should always have a starter, something to really, you know, open up your nose. Really, like I said, get those taste buds popping, and get those prepared for what you're going to try next, and see what you can pick out from it. Mm. It's just good. I love it. It's a great sipper. Something to just keep around. You can go to like a daily or a nightly, whatever. And don't mind sharing because it's only like 25 bucks. So it's pretty good. Now, I will say color complexity wise, between the two, the Sazerac 125 is significantly darker. Um, I guess because they obviously proof it down for the 90. So, add in whatever, that little bit of water in there to try to get it proof down. The Sazerac 125 is significantly darker. Um, yeah, it's very dark, and I mean in a good way. So I will say the nose is different. Mm, It is. It's different. It's a little bit heavier. You do get some of that ethanol on it, because it is 125 proof. Yeah, for me, very similar profile. It's just more mature, if that makes sense. It's less sweet, more of those dark fruits, I feel like, or those dried fruits like that cherry. Not a lot of sweetness initially. Again, it's a fresh crack, so I'm getting that neck pour, which is that first pour in the bottle. So it is going to open up over time, but I'm curious to see what my first impressions will be on it. What is that? I don't know. It's like orange, a little bit of orange, a little bit of sweet, but mostly I'm getting not a lot of oakiness. It's something there though. It's unfamiliar yet familiar. I just can't pick out what it is. Hmm, I don't know, but see what it got. Mm, that is very delicious. It's very good. It is way spicier than the regular Sazerac 90 proof. Um, Not in a bad way. It's not overly powerful on the spice. Like as I'm talking, those rye spices are definitely traveling down, and I can feel those. but it's very good. Uh, let's go in with a real like flavor breakdown on the palate. Mm. All right, you get some oakiness on the back end. Um, mm. You get some initial sweetness, like I want to say is orange. Is it orange or cherry? I'm not really sure. Orange or cherry. It's a fruit in the front with some sweetness. I guess like a little bit less vanilla. I guess more caramel, more caramel kind of toffee. Um, this is it is really good though. I will say that, and especially off of fresh crack. So that means it's only going to get better. I would. I have never had, like I said, the Thomas Handy. I know it's like 400 bucks. I think MSRP wise, I'm not willing to spend that yet. Uh, but this is really good. I don't know how good the Thomas Handy is or the Sazerac. I've had the Sazerac 18 before actually. I tried it at Drug City at the fountain. Um, I will put a picture up. Want to do one of those things. I'll put a picture up right here. Um, of when I did have it, just had a small sample size, and that was pretty good. This was a while ago before I was reviewing like that. If I would have been thinking, I would have wrote down what I got on it or what I thought. But I know that was pretty good as well. But this, especially for what I paid for it, I think what 40 bucks maybe, or maybe like 35. But plus shipping and all that other stuff. This is really good. It's a solid pickup. If you find it anywhere, I say get one or two, and keep them around. I'm sure that Trace will be pumping them out more readily available, in other states. Uh, but yeah, it's really good. I thoroughly enjoy this. Thoroughly enjoy this. Yeah, it's. I have no other words, and it is extremely good. Like I said, orange, kind of caramel, toffee, rye spices on the end, and just a slight touch of oakiness. Overall, it's really good. What I'll do, I'll actually let me look up what other people have said about it. Let's see if I'm close to what people have said. Let's see what Breaking Bourbon has to say. Breaking Bourbon has this to say on the nose. All right, orange peel, allspice, hot honey, mint, clove, glazed donut. I don't know who's writing this stuff. Orange peel, cinnamon, apple, honey, floral, and candy corn. So I get orange, I get cinnamon with those spices. I guess you could say that. Floral, not really. I wouldn't say. Candy corn, definitely didn't get that. On the finish, grilled apricot. I don't know who's writing this stuff. Rye spice, black pepper, baking spices, light dry oakiness. Like so, yeah. So general finish, like I was saying, rye spices, black pepper. I guess is what they want to consider that spicy little like whatever. Baking spices is all the same and oak. But yeah, I guess I need to start grilling my apricots to know what that flavor is. But overall, again, this is really good. It is a great budget buy, if you want to call it that. It is amazing. So, with that, that's my sip Sunday. And